Hi guys, welcome to another audio video, and we're now in the book of Job, and I'll be reading Job 1 of the King James Version Bible. And it reads, There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 she asses, and a very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job said, It may be that my sons have sinned, and cursed God in their hearts. Thus did Job continually. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Doth Job fear God for naught? Hast not thou made a hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon him put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, The oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabeans fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, The fire of God is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep and the servants, and consumed them, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, The Chaldeans made out 3 bands, and fell upon the camels, and have carried them away, yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, Thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Then Job arose and rent his mantle, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground, and worshipped, and said, Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. Alright, guys, so we all know the story of Job. Even non-Christians know the story of Job. And you know something of importance that I want you to realize it is where it says that. This is where I want you to take and pay keen attention, right? Satan answered to God and said, Hast not thou made an edge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? That means that God has put up a protective shield around Job because Job was a faithful servant. And listen to me, that is the same thing that God does for you. That is the same thing that God does for me also. Because once you trust the Lord and you serve him and you surrender to his will and to his purpose for you, he will protect you. He will put that edge around you that no one can touch you and nothing can touch you. Save. He allows it to happen. And at times, he needs to allow things to happen. He will allow things to happen to see just how trustworthy you are, to see just how faithful a servant you are. And here it is that the Lord actually lifted up that protection. He lifted up that protection to see and to prove Job, his servant, that his servant is indeed worthy and his servant truly loves him. Not worthy, but that he truly loves him. Because when he takes away that protection, he still went. Do you see the last verse? He worshipped. Not the last. The third to the last, right? He worshipped God. When they came and told him all that, remember, it didn't say that, oh, this one came on this day and told him, and that one came on the other day and told him, and these events took place in a sequential order. No, they did not. They all took place at the same time, and he was just receiving the message continually. By the end of the speech of one of his servants to tell him what has occurred in one as one mishap has happened, another comes in and just tells him another one just like that. They all happened at the same time. So everything was basically lost to him at the same time. His cattle and everything that he had that we started out learning about in this chapter, that all those things that he had, they're all gone. They all perished within the blink of an eye. And he did not curse. He did not curse the Lord or anything. He worshipped God. And that is something that we all need to incorporate within our lives. As Christians, we need to incorporate that in our lives. And as non-Christians, we need to learn to incorporate those things within our lives. And let me tell you, with all of that, that shows just how much of a faithful servant Job was to God. Right? And we'll continue to learn more. Alright, guys? But I really wanted you to zone in on verse 10 because God protects his people. He builds a shield of protection around us that nothing can get in, save he allows it to be so, or save we ourselves cause that shield to be penetrated because we sin. Alright, guys, so continue to do all you can to keep those shields up, to ensure that God has placed a shield around you so that you'll be protected, you and your family, because it didn't say just Job, but his family also. Okay? Alright, guys, so I'm going to leave you right there. Please remember to continue to walk in your salvation. And if you've not yet gained it, then seek it. There's no better time to begin than the present. Have yourselves a blessed day. Bye.